It's crucial that we are responsible in the water as scuba divers so that the dive sites that we visit stay the same or actually improve thanks to our presence. And Papua Diving in Raja Ampat are at the forefront of efforts to maintain and improve their waters. And the more that we can support dive centers and resorts like them, the more they can support some beautiful dive sites. Hi, all of you awesome scuba divers out there. Welcome to the Scuba Diver Magazine channel, your favorite place for the latest scuba diving news and gear reviews. Yeah, last week I spoke about the 2 Papua diving resorts in Raja Ampat, but I didn't get to mention all of the cool things that they do for the local area, not just in the water, but for their community also, which can have a positive effect on their waters. Papua Diving Resorts ensures that conservation is an outcome of every guest's stay. A majority of their net profit is actually channeled to the Raja Ampat Research and Conservation Centre, or the RARCC. So accommodation and dive revenue directly bankrolls their work rather than just relying on occasional donations. This funding stream supports community-based initiatives and the practical costs of running projects in remote Raja Ampat, including hosting students, researchers and scientists. RARCC is an independent non-profit set up in 2009 with an Indonesian foundation established later, which helps keep the conservation mission structurally separate from day-to-day resort operations. Additional revenue routes feed the same mission, such as kayaks for conservation, so the more you visit, the more money goes to conservation efforts. Beyond funding, Papua Diving positions its resorts as a field base that enables research and conservation work to happen efficiently in a remote region. Students, researchers and scientists in Raja Ampat are offered accommodation, boats, local knowledge and on-the-water support that would otherwise be costly or difficult to organise. A resort-based hub reduces friction so that field work can focus on surveys, sampling and monitoring. Again, it's separate from the projects themselves. This is about infrastructure and facilitation that multiplies other impacts and helps turn observations into better decisions over time. Coral restoration is one of the most visually compelling pieces of their conservation portfolio, and they list it explicitly as an active focus. In practical terms, coral restoration usually involves identifying damaged patches, establishing nursery structures or other grow-out methods, and then outplanting healthy fragments to accelerate recovery, especially where impacts are localized and ongoing protection is possible. The key angle for Papua diving is that restoration is paired with stewardship. They're not just planting corals and then leaving it, they're repairing the entire habitat in a place divers can return to and monitor. Their wider sustainability narrative also points to complementary protection measures like mooring buoy programs, which matter because preventing new anchor damage makes restoration far more likely to stick. Papua Diving patrol their area for illegal operations, which is a different conservation lever than like restoration. It aims to prevent the damage before it even happens. In Raja Ampat, enforcement challenges are amplified by distance. You've got dispersed islands and limited official capacity, so local eyes on the water really matter. By patrolling, that can include spotting and reporting illegal fishing, deterring destructive practices, and coordinating with authorities or community leaders when problems arise. They're not policing the waters themselves, but their presence in the area can act as a deterrent, and they can also report to local law enforcement who can then escalate based on their information. Papua diving zebra shark work is the most specific hero species story in the list, and it's detailed enough to stand up on its own. The RARCC describes a zebra shark nursery on Cree Island equipped with egg tanks, pup tanks, and a sea pen with specialist aquarists raising animals from egg through to juvenile stages until release. The RARCC reports concrete progress local site operations plus broader ReShark and STAR collaboration focused on rebuilding resilient zebra shark populations in 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Ampat. Not all of Papua diving's conservation efforts are underwater. Papua diving highlights a land-based syntropic agroforestry program in 𝐃𝐨𝐽, which is southwest Papua, which is aimed at engaging local communities in recultivating degraded areas. Syntropic agroforestry is regenerative land management that rebuilds soil and biodiversity by designing plant succession systems. Mixed species planted and managed to mimic natural forest regeneration while still producing useful crops. Basically, growing the right plants in the right place improves the quality of the soil and returns the local wildlife to where it should be, whilst also giving jobs to the local community. Papua diving educates local people and the younger generation for a better future for 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Ampat, positioning education as a conservation tool rather than a side project. The logic is quite straightforward. Reef protection improves when communities have access to learning, alternative livelihoods, and the knowledge to make informed choices about resource use. RARCC also describes its broader remit as education for children and adults, which shows that it's not only aimed at kids. Talks, workshops, youth activities, reef etiquette training, and local language communication help to teach the basics and change the old normal to something modern and something actually good for their local environments. A concrete example of their education work is the Batanta Hope Island School. Until now, schooling had reportedly been absent on the island for over 20 years, providing primary education, teachers, educational materials, a school building, and housing for teachers. RARCC also notes it has supported 𝐻𝐸𝐺 with education since 2018, which anchors the story in continuity rather than just a one-off donation. Educating the next generation properly ensures a future of locals who all know what to do and what not to do, and then later on go on to teach their children also. Papua diving undertake vocational skills training, specifically training locals in things like woodworking and building the first fiberglass boats and kayaks in 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Ampat. This sits in the livelihood lane rather than the education lane. It's all about employable skills, giving local production capacity and economic resilience. The conservation link is indirect, but it is important. When communities have stable, higher value work tied to sustainable tourism and local enterprise, pressure to exploit marine resources can drop because they have an alternative. RADRA, or the 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Ampat Dive Resort Association, is presented by RARCC as a coordinated response to shared marine park problems that no single operator can solve alone. The RARCC was assisted by Papua Diving to start RADRA so that resorts in the area could cooperate and have a stronger voice when addressing issues in 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Ampat Marine Park, noting that earlier attempts to work together had kind of struggled. In their own news and project pages, RIRCC lists the kinds of pressures that collaboration is meant to tackle. Things like increases in shark finning, reef damage linked to a lack of moorings, harassment of mantas, vandalism, trash in the water, and illegal logging. So by bringing all of the dive centres in the area into one concise voice, it gives them more power and volume at the negotiating table. And that's why I just wanted to circle back and shine a light on the bigger picture behind Papua diving. Because it's not just, you know, come here and dive some amazing reefs, it's come here and actually help keep 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Ampat. When your accommodation and diving can directly fund research, enforcement, restoration, education, and alternative livelihoods, that's the kind of tourism that actually leaves a place better than it found it. So a massive thank you to Papua Diving for sponsoring this video and for the work that they're doing throughout 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Ampat. If you're planning on a 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Ampat trip, and you want your dive spend to actively support the region, I'll drop links down in the description and up here in the corner of the screen so you can check out Papua Diving and the projects that we've talked about today. And to you legends watching, thank you for supporting the channel and caring about the oceans enough to learn this stuff and share it. If you found this video useful, then hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what conservation work have you seen dive operators doing really well, and what do you want to see more of in the industry. Share this with your dive buddy as well, because the more divers who care, the better the dive sites are going to be for the next generation. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.